Hi everyone. I would like to welcome you to the General Chemistry 1 online course this summer. And basically this link that I have sent you, so here, is basically the hub for this course. So the first thing that hopefully you did, and you did if you're watching this video, is click on this course syllabus and schedule. And here you can get a copy of the syllabus. This is the winter 19 video, but you're watching the summer 19 video that I am just recording right now. So obviously I can't be there because that's what I'm doing. So if you click on this syllabus, it brings up the course syllabus. So notice that we are using the whole book is this link that I sent you. All right, so that is basically how this is going to work. Before I do that, I just want to give you a little bit of an idea of who's running this course. So Professor Li Nu, who's the chair of our department, is in charge of this course, and I help him out a little bit by making some of the videos, and my name is Colin Hank. Okay, so if you need to get a hold of me, just send me an email. This is Dr. Nu's email if for some reason you need to get a hold of him, and this is my email right here. So now that I've gone over that, I want to give you a little bit of an idea of how the course works. The first thing I want to do is go over the schedule because it happens to be in the syllabus. So if you look here, this is the course schedule. So chapter 0 and chapter 1 will be due next Tuesday, which is June 25th. So the course will start on June 24th, and then you'll go over kind of some basic stuff. Now, when it comes to this kind of stuff, especially this math review, you may or may not need to watch videos about how to do this math. Some of it, hopefully, you're going to remember, and you're not going to need to watch a video. Don't spend your time watching a math video on something that you already know. The matter and measurements, to some extent, is the same. So same thing there as well. Some of it you may already be familiar with. But when you start to get to chapter 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, you're going to want to watch the videos, and you're going to want to watch the due dates. So there's two pieces of major information that happen here, or two blocks. So one is there's the textbook, which gives you the video lectures and the textbook, like the lecture on reading material and stuff like this. And then the second piece is ALEX, where you actually try this stuff out and do some problems that are based on this. So this is kind of how the system works in two ways. So now that I've given you a little bit of an idea of the schedule, I do want to also point out that there's a midterm exam on chapters 1 through 5 on July 5th, which must be taken in person, and also the final exam on July 19th, which is chapters 6 through 9, and is not cumulative. In both cases, we recommend you do all the homework for the chapters on the exam before the exam. So although your chapter 5 homework is technically due at midnight on July 5th, and you'll take the midterm before midnight on July 5th, we do recommend you do the chapter 5 homework first. You have a few days to do it, so it's not really that big of a deal. All right, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of this of the schedule. While I'm here, I would like to give you a little bit of an idea of the grades. All right, so homework in ALEX is 30% of your overall grade. You have to do your homework. All right, this is an online course. It's not like an in-person course where homework may only count as 5 or 10% of the grade. Here, because it's an online course, it's 30% of your grade. It's not optional, right? You can't really be successful in the course if you don't do your homework. The midterm exam and the final exam are 35% of the overall grade, and the final exam is the other 35%. All right, so I guess this doesn't really need to be here because this is 35 and this is 35, so that's basically that. And you need to get above a 50 to pass, but I'm guessing most of you don't want to just pass, you want to do well, so just do the best you can on the exams, and I'm confident that you're going to be successful. So let me give you an idea of kind of how the course works, and I understand that this is not super well organized, so it's important you're hopefully watching this entire video. So how it works is you have this textbook here. Okay, so this is the textbook, and each section of the textbook has some text, okay, and it also has a video lecture, so fractions. All right, if you know how to add and subtract fractions, you probably don't need to watch this video, but it is here. The first section of the any chapter will have the downloadable lecture notes at the top. So you click this, and you can download all the lecture notes. If you go to a chapter that actually has some chemistry in it, so we'll go to chapter 3 here, all right, the first section has a video on formula, mass, and moles, and the downloadable lecture notes are here. and you can get all of the lecture notes that are gone over during the video. The lecture notes are not the only thing that's gone over during the video, but you can get the lecture notes in this way. You can also get text. So you get a kind of a textbook section going here, and basically that's how this works. So you read the material, you watch the material, you download the lecture notes. You'll notice that each chapter has many more than one part, and you go through these things, and then you get a familiarity with the material. After you've gotten a familiarity with the material, then it's time to go into ALEX and actually practice that material. So I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to open up the ALEX and show you what that looks like. Okay, so now for ALEX, what you're going to want to first do is you're going to want to go to how to register for ALEX. And here's a video that shows you exactly how to register for ALEX. Just don't forget that the summer class code is this. The class code in the video will be different because it changes every semester. But this is the summer class code that you're going to need, which I found under how to register for ALEX. And if you click here, it'll take you to ALEX. And you will need to know your University at Albany ID number. If you don't know how to do that, the video shows you how to find that. Okay, the other thing you may want to use is how to use this textbook, which just gives you a little more details than I just gave you in a minute or two about how to use the textbook. And then this using ALEX video is actually very helpful. It'll give you some tips and tricks for how to get started in ALEX. So the very first thing you're going to do in ALEX is do a tutorial that essentially shows you how to type numbers and letters and whatever into ALEX and its formatting conditions and all of this kind of stuff. If you don't really want to do that, you can skip it, but I don't recommend skipping it. It doesn't take very long, and you pick up a few things that you'll know, that you may need to know. The next thing you're going to do in ALEX is you're going to take an assessment, which is kind of going to ask you questions about what do you know about chemistry right now, or about the mathematical stuff and this kind of thing. And then based on how you do on that, it'll start you with the homework that you're ready to learn. Okay, so it won't be asking you things that you already know how to do. It's important that when you take this assessment, you take it honestly. So don't spend 2 hours looking up how to solve a problem, because that means you don't really know how to do that one, and you should spend some time on it. Instead, just do the best you can. Okay, if you know how to do all the stuff, great. But if you're not sure how to do something, don't worry about it too much. Okay, the purpose of ALEX is, and the course is, to teach you how to do the stuff, so it's not a big deal. And don't be surprised at all if you get questions that are, way out there from like chapter 4 of the book or something like that. Maybe you've never seen it, or you haven't seen it in a long time, or this kind of thing. Don't worry about that. All right, it's not meant to be a test in the sense that it counts for something. It's meant to just give the program an idea of what knowledge you're coming in with. So you're going to take that assessment. After that assessment, then what you're going to do is you're going to look through you're going to work through all of these homework topics. And if you use this how to use ALEX video, this video will give you some tips and tricks about how to find the appropriate topics that are going to be due at the appropriate time. So it's really important that you watch this video. Ultimately, we are going to follow the approximate schedule in the syllabus. So what you're going to do is, if you log in now, or between now and June 25th, it's mostly going to ask you about chapter 0 and chapter 1 material. Okay, but that video will show you how to specifically identify those topics. And then it'll ask you about chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4 and so on and so forth. I want to point out a couple of things. Okay, 25% of your homework grade is doing your homework on time. Okay, so by completing the topics by these due dates. But 75% of your grade is based on doing the homework at all. So moving through all these topics throughout the course of the semester. That being said, this course moves extremely fast, and you don't want to get behind. All right, chemistry is extremely hierarchical, which is good and bad. It's good because you review concepts you learn in chapter 2 and chapter 8. Okay, it's bad because if you miss the concepts from chapter 2, chapter 3 becomes impossible. So it's really important that you stay on top of this. The onerous is kind of on you as the student for when you signed up for an online course to try to keep on top of this. Now, we have done what we can to help you. We've given you lecture videos. We've given you a free textbook. You don't need to buy a textbook. You do need to buy access to ALEX. That is not free, unfortunately. But we've given you the textbook. and the videos to try to help you to do this. So you're going to want to use those materials. I strongly recommend first, watch the lectures first and then do your homework just like you would do in a regular class. I strongly don't recommend trying to do both at the same time. You're going to miss stuff if you do it that way. So just like you would in a class, you go to lecture, you take notes, all that good stuff, then you go and you do your homework in Alex. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how this course works. I appreciate you watching this video. I look forward to working with you this summer, and I wish you the best in this course. Have a good summer.